Greetings and bienvenue crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast, and welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Just wanted to share my story since I have nobody to talk to. It may take me a long time to write it, but I hope at least one person reads it. I just want to feel connected to someone. This is my first post here after having lurked since forever. I have been really messed up by a non-abusive childhood. I was responsible for taking care of my paralyzed father since I was 9. My older siblings were all able to enjoy sports and social interactions and got to go out, but I had to stay in. I was like a subhuman to my family. Me and my father were really close, and I didn't think anything was wrong with taking care of him. I literally bathed, fed, clothed, medicated, and handled all of his finances and everything while growing up. My mom helped, but she had to work. I am not socially awkward. I just don't have any incentive to do anything now and lament interacting because I don't understand how. My dad died almost 3 years ago. I literally do nothing with my life. I work, go home, and don't talk to anyone. My last 3 birthdays passed and none of my 3 brothers even called to say happy birthday. I don't get invited to family functions. They are all mad that my dad left me mostly everything. I finally start going out after work. I enjoy watching NBA games. Meet a really nice girl. We started talking. I'm 22 and literally have never had a girlfriend since I spent 16 hours a day caring for my dad plus school and working while growing up. My brothers all make fun of me relentlessly. Family calls me a hermit and jokes are constantly thrown at me. Me and this girl started going out. She is a genuine 10 out of 10. First relationship, so literally just taking it slow and just doing things how my dad told me it goes. Multiple dates over 3 or 4 months. Eventually get serious. She knows how I grew up and took joy in teaching me the ropes. Eventually one night we have sex and it's great. We move in together at 14 months. I feel like my life is getting better, enjoying everything. Eventually become a well-known calligraphy artist for a wedding company. I visit my dad's gravestone often and just talk to him. Suddenly I get a call from my mom while at the cemetery one time.
Your oldest brother has been in a car accident. Please help us out with medical stuff, please.
Yes, Mom, no worries. I will help them since it's what my dad would have wanted. Call girlfriend, she isn't answering. Leave her a text saying that I will be home late. I arrived at the hospital. I square everything away and tell the hospital I will help pay for whatever his insurance didn't pick up. I'm sitting in the waiting room. Nobody talking to me except my grandmother. She always loved me and was just chatting. Suddenly notice the girlfriend's parents come into the waiting room. They see me and start asking me,
"What happened to our daughter?"
"What do you mean?" I texted her that I would be here. "Did she maybe tell you guys I got in an accident?"
"No, she was just in an accident."
Turns out my oldest brother was sleeping with my girlfriend. Kind of numb at this point. She ends up dying. Revoke my promise to pay for his care. End up contemplating taking my own life. Drink heavily for a few months. I don't know what I am going to do with my life. The first real relationship I ever had ended like this. My brothers somehow effed me with the ultimate betrayal. My mom says it is my fault because my cheating girlfriend got my brother killed. Somehow if I didn't date her then they would have never met. Now my family goes from passive-aggressive to full-on hate and shunning. I finally decided I am going to just get away from everything and hopefully die off in some faraway country. Enlist in the army. I became an airborne medical officer. I'm basically a combat medic who gets attached to random special forces units when they need me, or I stay attached to my main unit. I kind of just floating around all over Afghanistan doing things, being a medic, basically a glorified nurse with a gun. Over one barbecue and drinking night we had around year 4, I basically tell my life story to everyone. Eventually everyone starts looking out for me since I am known to have pulled some crazy stunts like pulling 3 guys up a mountainside while being fired at by enemy snipers, and I didn't really care. They think I am crazy and always make sure I have things I need at our base. Since nobody ever sends me any care packages, guys tell their wives to send me from Tabasco, drink mixes, seasonings, just really cool stuff that makes living in the desert much more bearable. Eventually befriend a few of them. They all live in Texas and want me to move there if we all get out. Out of the 4 of us who were really close, 2 died in the line of duty and 1 took his own life when he got home 2 years ago. It's just me, and I moved to Texas in honor of them. I stay in contact with their families, and my best friend's family adopted me kind of. They always invite me to family events. I would do anything for them. First feeling aside from my squad where I feel accepted. Promise his mother that no matter what happens they can always rely on me if they ever need anything, and I 100% mean it. Her husband got sick for like 8 or 9 months and I took care of everything around the house for them. I do yard work, trim trees and help her out with bills. I would do anything for them. Eventually a productive member of this local town in Texas. Everyone knows me. I enjoy helping the local city group with setting up things around town like festivals. A bunch of older and younger sons of older guys group up and always set up booths, build the stages, and literally just a bunch of dudes who meet up, drink and handle all the manly handyman work for the town. Eventually 1.5 years pass like this. I'm nearing 31, have random flings with local girls throughout this time. Just enjoy the little things in life now. I play video games, shoot pool, go hunting, fishing and working. I am content. Suddenly my adopted mom calls me. Her husband died and she needs me now at the hospital. I help her throughout the ordeal. Make sure she has everything easy and can just mourn. Me and her 26-year-old daughter are setting everything up. I am making sure no expense is spared. Through this process me and her daughter end up getting close. She admits to having a crush on me when I first got here but always felt shy about talking to me. Laugh about it and explain I am a dirty old man compared to her. Eventually this culminates in a relationship that's kind of flirty, friend tier. One day a few months after everything her mom calls me and tells me she found a bin of letters from my best friend to her husband. Wants me to go pick them up and read them since a few were about me and had a letter from her husband to me. My best friend Calvin who died told them all about me while I was over there. How I took care of him when he got shrapnel in his ass and made sure he was taken care of before I just disappeared into another unit I got attached to. This was 2 years before I formally met him. I look further into notes. The letters talk about how he thinks God brought me back to his unit because I am now his group's medic and nobody had died since I got there. Tells them about how he wishes he could have had a brother like me. I am in tears at this point, even while on the train. He literally told his mom that if he and I made it out he wanted to get them to somehow adopt me. He really saw me as his older brother. He sent them a picture of our whole unit cooking some meat and smiling while we were over there. Him, me and one of the other guys who became great friends are in our battle dress uniform and we just have big grins on our faces while our 4th bro is on crutches with his head wrapped in gauze smiling in an apron. He tells them I am taking care of everyone, not to worry. And wants them to meet me somehow. Eventually get to his last note he actually had on him when he died. The first line reads as follows.
To Mom, Dad, Sis, and Anon, if we didn't get blown up together, haha. I just want to let you guys know.
I am sorry I can't even write what he wrote or I will really lose it. Suffice to say it was his reason for enlisting, hoping that he made his family proud, and his dreams for his sister, and a personal thank you for me. Eventually I thank God for everything that happened in my life. Realize the promise we made on a mountainside while nearly dying meant the world to this man. Realize it means the world to me now. I have purpose again. I realize my selfish reason for joining may have been the best thing to happen to me. Show the notes to his sister. She laughs, cries, laughs and mourns again. Somehow she ended up staying over at my place because she was drunk. We end up kind of getting together more often. I kind of end up falling for her, but I'm scared of relationships. What would her brother think? Her father? Her mother? I'm kind of not sure what to do. Ends up leading to this last month. She wants to be together. I explain to her my worries, fears, and thoughts about everything. She says she will give me time to think about it, but if I don't want to try anything, to let her know so she can move on. I disappear and go back to my hometown. I rent a hotel room. Visit my dad's gravesite and let him know about my life and cry a bit. My grandma is still alive. I called her house number to see if she would see me. She is ecstatic that I am doing well. She thought I died in a ditch somewhere or something. Tells me to leave the hotel and stay with an old lady to make her happy. Agree with it. Realize how much she reminds me of my real dad. Cherish every second with her. Eventually word gets around I am back. 2 brothers and mom drive to grandma's house and try to threaten me that they are going to beat my ass. I don't really care, since they have no idea I have literally been a soldier for the last 8 years plus hard manual labor in Texas. They are all fat and just in general look like meth heads. Grandma tells them to leave, and that they aren't welcome here. They threaten her to shut up and say that it's none of her business. I don't want to start anything, so just take their verbal taunts. Finally they decide to leave. They tell me that they hate me. Eventually, 3 days ago, I made sure my grandma's house was all fixed up before I left and repainted everything for her. Cut a bunch of firewood and did yard work just to make sure she was good to go for when winter hits for her. I'm glad that at least someone in my real family appreciated me aside from my dad. She tells me she is so proud I managed to get out of the town and make it somehow. I decide it's time to head back to Texas. I don't want to use free flights and want to visit my other friend in California who died and passed through and visit his military grave. I take a train ride to California, handle my business there and get back on the train to Texas. Not sure what awaits me there. I don't know what to do, guys. I really like this woman, my friend's sister. I just feel like somehow the betrayal that was given to me by my brother would be repeated if I did anything inappropriate with her. She is a wonderful person and reminds me so much of him, it's scary. He was the only friend, aside from my military friends, I ever had in my life since I had no childhood. If God gave me the option of making sure he got home instead of me, I would in an instant take my own life so he would have made it back to his family. If it wasn't for him, I would never have made it back, I think. On some levels, even though I may have physically saved him multiple times and that I feel like me meeting his family was my ultimate salvation. For the first time ever, I felt what it was like to enjoy a Thanksgiving meal with people who I truly felt thankful for. I made a bunch of new friends and interact with the community now after moving to his town. I feel like I am somebody worth something. Yet I feel so torn between making something out of his sister and me and honoring his memory. I don't know what to think, and I thank anyone who read this, because as dumb as it may seem, I feel like such a huge weight has been lifted off of my chest and that I can breathe again. Thank you guys so much.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel, as more green texts will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.
Remember that all videos have been archived on the Odyssey page.